Hello everybody, my name is Stephanie Burke and my partners are Estela and Franklin. We're going to go over with you to teach you a little bit more about the pooling concept when it comes to an MRO industry and what pooling is. We're going to show you 7 different steps of what a company needs to look for when to partner with a pooling company. They first need to look for the history of service of excellence, the repair arrangement and repair facilities available, volume of pool inventory available to support, beyond economical repair, BAR support, flexibility in component scope and core, compliance to desired service levels, consideration of hidden cost. These are some of the steps that the company needs to look for when it comes to picking a pooling partner. Number 1, history of service excellence. In definition, it's a comprehensive solution for a very large number of components installed on an aircraft fleet. It is therefore imperative that while choosing a pooling partner, one must consider a service provider's history of excellence. One way of telling this is to know how many aircraft are already supported by the service provider. Equally important is the variety of airlines under contact with the service provider. A great start for your due diligence is a customer's testimonial. This allows you to gauge the service excellence of the provider. It's very important to look into their history and if the company has been around for years or if it's a new company, who's associated with this company before you become a partner with them. Number 2, repair arrangements and repair facilities available. For a comprehensive component support program, it's important that the service provider has a strong backup support of repair facilities and arrangements. The better the network means better component reliability, increased support, and also economies of scale for an airline. The lower the rollable cycle, times the better the reliability. Meaning, if you have a pooling partner, if you have an AOG, an aircraft on ground, and you need a certain part or unit that needs to go into the aircraft, you can directly move towards contacting your pooling partner and they will come to the rescue. Volume of pool inventory available to support. The volume of pool inventory available with a service provider determines the level of guarantee support which could be extended to a customer at the time of demand. The higher the volume, the better service is expected. It's also important to know if the provider is willing to invest in a long-term relationship. Meaning, if you have a lot of components available in your facilities, it's easier for when an airline is requesting or it's in demand for a certain part to come and ask for that part and for the part or the unit to be available for them to use.
Beyond economical repair is the part of the contract between the airline and the facility company where when one of the units of the aircraft is broken, they need to scrap it and replacement unit has to be procured. They have to share the cost between the airline and the facility company, especially because most of the units of the aircraft are very expensive. So sometimes instead to replace or to arrange this piece, they need to scrap it and put in another piece, and then they share the cost of this piece. This type of part of the contract is not worthy for the airline because it's very expensive. So most of the times the airline doesn't take this option. The contracts between the airlines and the facility company have to be flexible because sometimes the pieces have to turn around on time. When this thing doesn't happen, the facility companies have to be very flexible, especially in doing one substitution of when unite when is needed. It can be our chairs or any piece or any component of the aircraft. When the piece is not ready on time, they have to be very flexible in giving options to the airlines, so they won't have a lot of aircraft on ground for a very long time. When the airlines have aircrafts on the ground for a very long time, they're wasting money, because for the airlines, time is money. Compliance to desired service levels. The service levels for AOG, critical and planned orders, vary depending upon the ground realities such as supply chain, operational parameters, and the inventory level maintained by the airline. Compliance on the part of the service provider is important to ensure dispatch reliability of aircraft fleet. Specifics of airline requirements are just critical. These can be service required such as SB or AD implementation, guarantee, management, and ROG unit administration. Consideration of hiding costs is the company's support program are supposed to provide a steady budget for component maintenance for aircraft fleet. If there is hidden cost, it becomes a surprise, of course. Hidden costs may come in the form of deviation from the core return time, no-fault funds limits, and AOG, minimal equipment listed and limits among others. Due planning and consideration is essential to ensure minimal hidden cost. If a service provider has multiple overheads, it may affect economic viability of a component support program. Those component support programs have to be ready on time and without any hidden costs.
Now for the fun part. With this diagram, you would better understand the closed loop process of the PBH contract or pooling contract that we've mentioned before. So here you have the airline, okay? It would go over this way. They will remove an unserviceable part. It goes to the workshop, MRO workshop. Serviceable serial number A is kicked back to the airline material stock or home base, like they like to call it. So the whole concept in a closed loop contract is that the same serial number removed, serial number A, it's the one being repaired and coming out as serviceable back to the airline. Serial number A. In this diagram, you will learn how the open loop contract works. Okay, first off, the airliner is entitled to have home base stock. Okay, for a fee, you can have home base stock for as little as 1, anywhere to 4 units, let's say. In this concept, the airline removes the unserviceable unit, serial number A. It goes to the workshop for repair. And now the difference here is that it doesn't keep rotating from the workshop to the airline. From the workshop, it'll go to the warehouse of the MRO. And in that warehouse, you're gonna have same part number, various parts of the same part number, and you can ship serial number B of the same part number. So pretty much it doesn't have to be the same closed loop process with the same serial number shipping back and forth. From the warehouse, you can ship serial number B, and then it will go ship directly to the airline, or either at their home base stock or anywhere their AOG for the part or credit. Now we're going to go over a few benefits of having a pool contract with an MRO. Spending less money. Having a pool contract should definitely help you save a buck or two, since the MRO you're partnered with should have a large variety of inventory. Large pool of inventory. Having a large pool obviously helps if you're stranded or AOG or critical for a part anywhere from the East Coast to the West Coast to overseas. Service levels. AOG should be a thing of the past if you have the correct planners attacking those MELs. Inclusions, exclusions. So with the different types of contracts that you have with pool, some exclusions are, as far as having a closed loop contract, you have restrictions to parts that need certain SBs or attributes. Inclusions can be on the contract written as well. Once you're signing with the MRO, you add, you take out any part numbers that you're going to need more than others, and even home-based stock, as we mentioned earlier. Advance exchange. Advance exchange is more with the closed loop side of things. Okay, if you send in a repair, a closed loop repair, and the MRO for whatever reason exceeds the TAT turnaround time, you definitely qualify for an advance exchange, which the MRO would have to provide an equal or greater value in time of the unit. Return repair coverage. With this coverage, the MRO helps with the cost of any core units of the repair. Furthermore, these are a few more benefits of having a pool contract. Reduce admin costs. As mentioned earlier, you should have less AOGs as you have a large variety of inventory, and if you have a great planner, you would get those MELs done in time. Less time babysitting. Having an MRO partner, you shouldn't have to babysit as much as far as sending your repairs to the MROs and shops to different areas. Dedicated accounting. Having a pool contract, you will be assigned a CAM, which is a key account manager, or a CSM, customer service manager, and they will fully dedicate their time to servicing you. 24/7 services. So a great quality of having a pool contract is the AOG team. Okay, they work 24/7 around the clock and also on holidays. They're always there to serve you. Quality guarantee. Okay, what this means is that the units you're getting are quality, and if not, you always have the option to return it, and we'll get another unit to you ASAP.